Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sporting Mentality. My name is Tanner Schering, aka Relay TS, and today I'm going to be doing my NFL Round 1 mock draft. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know the needs of every single team. I have a rough idea, and I don't know every single prospect, but I know a lot of them. So I'm going to do my best. Some of them I will admit I did just go with the suggestion, but it does make sense for that team. But I do know like the main ones, of course, that are like the big talking points. Sorry for not making an episode over the last month or so. I mean, honestly, just nothing relevant to talk about. That's not the only reason though. I've genuinely have been very busy, and this isn't like my job. This is just a passion project. So I'm not gonna go all out and sacrifice my actual stuff that makes me money to do this. But I do wanna get more consistent on the posting schedule, and I say that, and I'm about to leave for 11 days in March. So, but obviously when the draft comes around and everything like that, I'll be more active and all the NBA news over the summer. So we'll have some podcasts to go over. But for now, we're gonna get into this mock draft, and let me know what you guys think. Before we get into it, be sure to drop a like. If you're on any other platform besides YouTube, make sure to leave a 5-star review. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So starting off with the number 1 draft pick. This is number 1, and the Carolina Panthers just traded for this draft pick. I have the Carolina Panthers taking CJ Stroud. And the reason I have the Carolina Panthers taking CJ Stroud is because, first of all, they traded up for the number 1 pick, so they're going to take a quarterback. Obviously, that's almost too obvious to even talk about. But I have them taking CJ Stroud over Bryce Young because Frank Reich, who's the former head coach for the Indianapolis Colts, has only ever coached quarterbacks that were over the height of 6'4". So it makes me think that he's not going to want to, coach someone like Bryce Young, who's 6 foot, 5'10", whatever he is, running around out there. I think he wants a pocket passer. This is what Theo Ash said, by the way. I'm not this smart. Theo Ash from TikTok, shout out to him. He mentioned this. It does make sense though. CJ Stroud, he's a good prospect. And he's honestly who I want the Colts to get if they're going to draft someone. But I think Carolina Panthers going up there, getting CJ Stroud, no doubt in my mind, I think they're taking CJ Stroud. They give up a lot, but like Theo said, it doesn't matter what they gave up if they get their franchise guy. That's just the truth. So that's the number 1 draft pick for me. Number 2, we have the Texans. I don't believe they'll trade down or anything. I think the Texans are pretty confident where they are. They're taking Bryce Young, in my opinion. I think they're desperate for a quarterback. They don't really care. They've already had a running quarterback with Deshaun Watson, so I feel like it kind of fits their system. He's a warm weather guy, and they're in Texas or whatever. So I feel like he'll be fine there, and maybe he'll pan out, maybe he won't. But either way, I feel like the Texans will have no problem taking a risk on Bryce Young, no doubt. Cardinals. They were in need of an edge rusher, and Will Anderson is the best one in the draft. So, no doubt in my mind, the Cardinals are going to be taking Will Anderson. Losing J.J. Watt, and I think they're losing one other guy on the defensive line. They're going to need to fill that role, and that's going to be a tough role to fill. They're going to have to fill the role of a Hall of Famer, literally, in J.J. Watt. So, getting Will Anderson, I think, is a must, but we'll see how that goes out for them. Cardinals, honestly, if you're a Cardinal fan, you have a rough future. I'm not going to lie. Anyways, moving on to number 4, my Indianapolis Colts. I believe we are taking Anthony Richardson. I don't think we're going to be taking Will Levis. I think we're going to go all out on a prospect. We're going to see someone. We're going to hope that they develop into something that we've never seen before, or we've sort of seen before. But in my opinion, Anthony Richardson is Cam Newton athletically, but better and way worse of a thrower as far as just completing throws, essentially. But I think his athleticism is the best we've ever seen from any quarterback ever, honestly. I don't think that's crazy to say, and I wouldn't mind the Colts taking a chance on him. But I will say, I wouldn't be surprised if the Colts at least talk to Lamar Jackson. I would be very happy if we got Lamar Jackson. But if we don't get Lamar, I think we're going to be with Anthony Richardson at the number 4 spot. So we'll see how that pans out. Number 5 had the Seahawks taking Jalen Carter. They need a defensive lineman. Pretty self-explanatory here. I guess second best defensive lineman in the league or in the draft. And he's going to be on the board, so I don't see a reason why they wouldn't take him. Lions at number 6, I have them taking Christian Gonzalez. I'm pretty sure this guy had one of the fastest 40s in the draft. and he was at Oregon. Cornerback, they need a cornerback, so makes sense for the Lions. They're a bright young team. If they get their defense at the par and they keep developing that offense, I think the Lions could low-key make a run. Number 7, I have the Raiders taking Will Levis. I don't like this pick, but it does make the most sense. I don't think they're going to go anything other than quarterback. I think what the Raiders want is another quarterback to compete alongside Jared Stidham, and I think Will Levis is that guy to do it with. And I think Will Levis will probably win that spot if I had to guess. I don't know though. We'll just have to wait and see. Number 8, we have Tyree Wilson, edge rusher out of Texas Tech, going to the Falcons. The Falcons need defensive guys. He's going to be the best on the board at this point in my draft, at least. So it makes the most sense. Number 9 was the Panthers pick, but is now the Bears pick that they traded down to. The Bears are going to draft defense. They've drafted defense for as long as I can remember. They're going to take, in my opinion, Myles Murphy because they need an edge. So they're probably going to get the best edge available out of Clemson. Makes sense to me. I think that GM is making moves, dude. That pick down from number 1 to get the 9. I think they got 2 firsts, 2 seconds, in DJ Moore or something like that. That was a great trade for the Bears, and I think for the Panthers if CJ Stroud ends up panning out. Number 10, I have Devin Witherspoon, a cornerback out of Illinois, going to the Eagles. Darius Slay is seeking a trade, so it only makes sense for them to be like, okay, we should probably lock this up. If Darius Slay is gone by then, obviously they're going to take a corner. And Devin Witherspoon, I think, is like a second or, he's a top 3 corner rated in the draft right now. So it makes sense. The Titans at 11. See, this is a team where I think they could potentially move up. They could potentially trade with someone to try and get like Will Levis or Anthony Richardson or something like that. But if they sit where they are, I don't think a first-round quarterback is going to be on the board. So I think they're going to take an offensive lineman because they've had so many problems over the last few years with injuries. I think they'll take Paris Johnson Jr. out of Ohio State. Seems to be one of the best offensive linemen on the board. I think he's actually number 1. Yeah, I think he's number 1 on the board. Paris Johnson. So I think that'll be a solid pick for the Titans. Finally getting that line cleared up. And then they can pick up someone like Jimmy G or Jimmy G. They're probably going to pick someone up like a veteran, a bridge quarterback. Who knows? If they don't draft anyone, they have to get someone like Jimmy G. I don't think they're going to stick with Ryan Tannehill. I think he's done being a starter in this league personally. Number 12, I have the Texans. I have them taking Quentin Johnson out of TCU. First wide receiver off the board, right? First wide receiver off the board, I believe so. They need a wide receiver because the number 1 wide receiver is Brandon Cooks, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that needs to be taken care of ASAP if they want Bryce Young to flourish over in Houston. Number 13, I have the Jets taking Peter Skoronski, offensive lineman out of Northwestern. If they get Aaron Rodgers, Aaron is going to want protection, and they need protection, or at least they needed protection this year. So yeah, I think they'll probably end up with Aaron. If that's the case, they really, really do need to get an OT right away. They need to, if Aaron asks for something, they need to get it. Maybe they'll draft a wide receiver. They have Garrett Wilson. I don't really know who else to have, but I guess they could probably go with a Jordan Addison, but we'll see. Number 14, I have the Patriots taking Jackson Smith. I don't know how to pronounce the last part of his last name, but he's the wide receiver from Ohio State. They need a wide receiver bad. What do they have? Jacoby Myers. I don't know anybody else, but they're going to take a wide receiver. And then I have the Packers also taking a wide receiver, Jordan Addison. I think they'll take a main name guy, if I had to guess, from USC. I've heard Jordan Addison's name a lot, so I feel like that's just Packer type draft move. I don't know why I got the feeling, but with Jordan Love coming in and Aaron Rodgers not really having a lot of weapons last year, I think they're going to have to get another one, and hopefully Jordan Addison could be a number 1 for them. Who knows, though. Number 16, I have the Commanders taking Joey Porter Jr., cornerback out of Penn State. They need a cornerback. They need to get that defense rolling. But I guess they could probably use another wide receiver or a tight end, right? They could probably use a tight end. I don't even know who the tight end is. and of course like a quarterback, but like I don't think they're gonna trade up or anything. I think they're gonna stick with Sam Howell, according to the GM or whoever said that, coach. So I guess they're gonna stick with Joey Porter, and they don't really need Bijan Robinson either, because they got what's his name? God, I forget his name, but he wasn't bad last year. So I feel like they're gonna stick with him at running back. Then we have the Steelers at number 17. I have them taking Broderick Jones, an offensive lineman out of Georgia, getting Kenny Pickett some help on that offensive line, as he had like 3 concussions this year, felt like. So definitely getting the youngsters some protection, I think will help their chances of staying 500 every single year. Now I can't think of the coach's name. Oh my God, Mike Tomlin. In Mike Tomlin's career, he's been 500 every single year. I think getting an offensive lineman and helping Kenny Pickett will help them do that once again. Then at 18, we have the Lions again, and I have them taking an edge rusher, again, a defensive player. I don't think they really need much on offense. I think they just have a lot of young talent that needs to develop and just get used to Jared Goff. And they had that number one draft pick from last year that still needs that, I forget his name, but he was Jameson Williams. He got hurt, so they need him to develop as well and recover from an ACL. So I don't think they need any offense, maybe like an offensive lineman, but definitely defense should be their priority. Then at 19 for the Buccaneers, I have Deonte Banks, a cornerback out of Maryland. Kind of a boring pick. Nobody really cares about the Buccaneers. Is there even Buccaneers fans out there? It's whatever. They probably need defense. If Leonard Fournette leaves, I would not be surprised if we see the Buccaneers drafting Bijan Robinson. But I don't know if Lenny's going to be leaving or not. I know he wants to play long. He's already 28, though, so who knows. I could potentially see the Buccaneers, though, pulling Bijan Robinson here at number 19. At number 20, we have the Seahawks again, and I have them taking Brian Brise, defensive lineman out of Clemson. Once again, another defensive lineman for the Seahawks. Seems pretty realistic to me. They need a defensive lineman. I just realized that the number 21 pick isn't here. I don't know why. It just doesn't say anything. I forget. Did I just skip it? I don't know. There's just no 21 pick here. Okay, so number 22 anyways. I have the Chargers taking Michael Mayer, tight end out of Notre Dame. I feel like getting Justin Herbert some weapons should be the number one priority. And I can honestly see them trading up and getting like a good wide receiver because I feel like Keenan Allen's going to leave, so alongside Mike Williams, they're probably going to need a second guy, third guy, whatever it is, or they could just go with the best tight end in the draft and get Michael Mayer. I think that's the best tight end in the draft, right? Maybe Darnell Washington, one of those two. I feel like they're going to take, but I have them taking Michael Mayer because they need to get Justin Herbert weapons like ASAP. Number 23, I have Calais Ringo, quarterback out of Georgia for the Ravens. They need a cornerback, so why not draft for a cornerback? But honestly, I could see them low-key trading up for a wide receiver as well, or just taking the best available, like Zay Flowers at here. It honestly just depends on the quarterback situation, like what's going to happen with Lamar, like all that stuff. I could also see them being active in free agency with wide receivers, like maybe they go after like DeAndre Hopkins or Keenan Allen or something like that. So who knows? But I have them taking defense here. Number 24 for the Vikings, I have them taking Nolan Smith out of Georgia. He's an edge, so I could see that happening. The Vikings defense was horrid this year. Kirk Cousins, they had a good defense, good offense with Kirk Cousins. But I guess now they just lost Adam Thielen, so maybe they think about a wide receiver. But I'm pretty sure the defense was like a bottom 30 defense, like. Pretty sure it was like the worst defense in the league. I'm not for sure though. It was like a bottom 5 defense. So we'll just see what they decide to do. But I have them going defense here. Jaguars, I have them taking a tight end, Dalton Kincaid out of Utah. I think they need Trevor Lawrence to get another weapon in there. They have Christian Kirk. They have Calvin Ridley coming back. I don't know the third wide receiver, but I'm sure he's fine. Probably a rookie or like a second-year player. But I don't know who the tight end is. Is it Evan Ingram? If it is, I'm still staying with the same pick because Evan Ingram sucks. So yeah. Have them take it tight end, get Trevor Lawrence some weapons. Same case with Justin Herbert there. Those two guys, if I'm their GM, I'm either drafting an offensive lineman, a tight end, or a wide receiver. I'm doing anything I can to assist their game. New York Giants, I have them taking Zay Flowers, the wide receiver out of Boston College. They need a wide receiver for Danny Dimes. Sterling Shepard's like 30, and he's their number one. He wouldn't be a number one on any other team in the league besides maybe the Ravens, maybe. So, yeah, they definitely need to draft the wide receiver. They're probably going to go best available. And at this point, my draft, Zay Flowers is the best available. Number 27, I have Cam Smith going to the Cowboys. He's a cornerback. When I made this pick, it said that the Cowboys need a wide receiver. I feel like they need defense. Like, they need defense more than they need a wide receiver. So I have them taking Cam Smith, who would be the best cornerback available here. Out of South Carolina, by the way. And then for the Bills at 28, I have them taking Jalen Hyatt. Once again, I have them taking the best wide receiver available in the draft. But I also could low-key see them taking Bijan Robinson. But I just don't feel like they need a running back on top of Devin Singletary and Josh Allen's run game. I just don't know if they need that run game. I think they have a solid run game as it is right now. They also picked up Hines, so like getting Bijan Robinson doesn't really make a bunch of sense for them. And they need a wide receiver for Josh Allen, so taking the best available just makes the most sense to me. Number 29, I have Anton Harrison, OT out of Oklahoma, the best available offensive lineman at this stage in my draft. Obviously assisting Joe Burrow. They either need to go offensive lineman or tight end here. I had them taking offensive lineman because protecting Burrow is the most important thing, because Burrow reminds me of Luck, and Luck obviously was not protected, therefore retired and in the peak of his prime. So that's that. And then we have number 30. I have the Saints taking Kalijah Kancey, defensive lineman out of Pittsburgh. This was the suggestion and best available. Honestly, I'm not sure what the Saints are going to want to do. I'm not sure on their offensive line how that is. But they do need to get their defensive line up, obviously, if it was suggested. So, and also taking Bijan Robinson doesn't make any sense for them either, since they have Kamara. Now, Bijan Robinson, best running back available. The only running back to be drafted in the first round, in my opinion, is going to be Bijan. And I think it's going to be to the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they're going to draft Bijan Robinson because why not make your offense more stacked than it already is? You know what I'm saying? I feel like they're going to want to make another run at the Super Bowl. If Bijan Robinson is available at 31, I'm jumping all over it personally. Or maybe at this point the Philadelphia Eagles have traded back because they don't really need anything, so they just trade back and then draft from there. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? And then for number 32, I have the Kansas City Chiefs taking Darnell Wright, offensive lineman out of Tennessee, best available. Once again, protection for Patrick Mahomes. I could see them also trading up for a guy like Zay Flowers or just the best wide receiver available. But we'll see. I don't know why it took the number 21 pick off my thing, but I'm pretty sure I had whoever was at 21 taking Darnell Washington. God, I forget who that was. Let me look up the NFL mock draft so I can see who's at 21. Because I'm pretty sure I had Darnell Washington going in the first round. 21 was the Chargers. Okay. So, I think I had the Chargers taking a tight end though already. Anyways, you guys could probably figure it out. I had another team taking a tight end at 21. I think it was involved with the trade. That's why it wasn't on there, but who knows. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about my mock draft. I know that probably was a little boring, but for those of you who are fascinated about it, you're probably like, okay, let's see what the old relay has to say about the NFL mock draft. Honestly, I'm just super excited to see what the Colts do. I want them to get CJ Stroud, but we'll probably end up with Richardson. If we don't end up with Richardson, I do not want Will Levis. And I'm kind of hesitant on wanting Bryce Young. Maybe. I feel like a lot of people like that as well right now. So I don't know. Let me know what you want your team to do. Let me know what you think they're gonna do. Let me know if you think there's gonna be trades in here. I didn't even do any predicted trades. I just assumed that everybody's gonna stay still, but that's definitely not gonna happen. I feel like teams like the Eagles are gonna trade out of there, and maybe even the Cowboys. I could see a lot of teams trading back. because they get like good offers from teams in the second round trying to get another first. You know what I'm saying? I can see that happening. But anyways, I appreciate you guys watching this podcast. Sorry for not posting once again, but I'll be back at the end of March, hopefully making more podcasts about the draft, covering and breaking down more news. But I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.